John Grady.
I'm obliged, and thank you, Mrs Llewellyn-Buck. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairship and to serve under the chairship of somewhere from the South Shields, from which I've got some family, to a wonderful place. And I thank the honourable member for Berwickshire, Roxburgh and Selkirk for securing such an important debate today, and he spoke very eloquently about transport in his seat. I would just gently remind him when he mentions net zero that it is the Conservative government that had an offshore wind allocation round that secured no bids when we desperately need clean, cheap, fixed-priced electricity. And I would gently remind the member that the last time I checked, much of these transport links were under the supervision of the Conservative government from 2010 to 2019, with some art and part assistance from another party in the early years. Improving connectivity between Glasgow and the rest of the UK is a topic that is deeply important to my constituents, and is a topic that I've been working hard on since I was elected in July. Glasgow is Scotland's largest city, and as we head into its 850th anniversary celebrations this year, we have much to celebrate. A vibrant city with so much economic and cultural potential. And improving connectivity of Glasgow and England is crucial to realising that potential. A high-quality intercity service attracts investment and talent. It is critical for people in our vibrant creative, scientific, cultural and energy sectors. It is critical for people coming to Glasgow to work and people coming to enjoy our city's brilliant cultural, sporting and nighttime economy, and people visiting friends and family. So I turn first to deal with links with cities in the east served by the East Coast Main Line. Previously, Glasgow had an excellent direct train service heading to the east of England and connecting Glasgow with cities such as Newcastle, Durham and York. In 2010, there were 10 direct trains running on this service, run by both LNER and Cross Country. Now, there is only one service per day. So under the Tory regime, 9 out of 10 services have been cut. Yet another blow to getting economic growth into Glasgow. I got in touch with Cross Country to ask them about the severe reductions to their service and to have a chat about increasing the frequency of their service. And I'm disappointed and a little surprised that I have yet to receive a reply, and I trust I will receive a reply soon. I did, however, meet with the Chief Executive of LNER to discuss the decision made back in April to scrap the last remaining service connecting Glasgow and the North East operated by them. I was clear that I was in full favour of any attempt to revive this service, and I will be keen to engage with the Minister on this. I am aware that Lumo have made an application to run a service, extending a service from Edinburgh to Glasgow Queen Street, and I'm keen to hear more about that proposal, as it demonstrates fundamentally that there is untapped demand for direct travel from Glasgow to the northeast of England and Yorkshire. And I'm interested in anything that increases connectivity between the north and northeast of England and Glasgow. With 9 out of 10 direct train services cut over the last years, we need improvements. The Conservatives' record of connectivity for Glasgow is, I'm afraid, nothing short of abysmal. And may I say to members from Scotland, that isn't just a question for Glasgow, it affects people across the west coast of Scotland, including in the countryside, who rely on those services. Now let's talk briefly, if I may, about connectivity to the northwest, the Midlands and London, which is also very important for Glasgow. For many years, Avanti West Coast have operated that service, and it has, to be charitable, left a lot to be desired. And even the last Conservative government accepted that the poor performance was appalling. The Conservative government's response to that appalling service has always puzzled me somewhat. In autumn 2023, they awarded Avanti West Coast a 9-year extension. Avanti's response was to cut the services in the run-up to Christmas. I thought it was only good children who got presents at Christmas, but there you are. Problems persist. Between July and September 2024, only 41% of Avanti services were deemed to be on time. Reliability is crucial for such an important service, and the current reliability is not acceptable. Our Labour government has inherited an absolute mess. of a transport system after years of neglect and poor policy making. The government is absolutely committed to boosting economic growth in all areas of UK, including Glasgow and Scotland, and this is something I am 100% proud to support. In order to achieve this, we must, of course, be ambitious in our plans to improve transport, and it is absolutely essential that Glasgow is not left behind due to poor transport links with the major cities in England. This will take time. 14 years of Tory failure has left our transport system in a mess. And I'm reassured that the government is committed to working hard to get our railways back on track. And I fully support these efforts, which will take time to yield results, but we must, of course, stick with them. I'm obliged. Thank you very much, Mrs. Lewell-Buck.